Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and today I am going to discuss Broly Packs 3 and 2, and I don't even know why I said that backwards, but we're going to roll with it. And you guys know that in 1, we got the 2 leaders, the blue Gogeta leader and the yellow Broly leader, and now we're going to roll right into the cards they're putting out in the next 2 Broly volume packs. Now, they're pretty cool. There's like a Gogeta chain, there's a Broly chain, there's a couple cards that range from what I may think maybe staple in the deck to, I don't know, not inconsequential, but pretty inconsequential. So before we get into that, remember to like, comment, subscribe, help me grow the channel, and I will keep putting out content. So moving right into it. There's not going to be any particular order. We're just going to go through all the cards, but just in case you guys want to see them, we've got the art for Volume 2, followed by the art for Volume 3. And those are just pretty dope pack arts. But moving forward from that, we're going to talk about our first card. The first card is Wiest the Instructor. 3-drop, red, only 1 specified cost, so he's easily splashable. And when you combo with this card, choose up to 1 Son Goku BR card, 1 Vegeta BR card, or 1 Gogeta BR card from your drop area and add it to your hand. He costs 1 to combo for 5k, and that does definitely hurt. But he is hard recursion. And that can't really be ignored. He is hard recursion, and he just happens to cost 1 and only get 5k combo. Kind of like a 5 on the spice scale, but who knows? Who knows? If we ever get to a point where you can put these cards so fast into the grave, but you don't want to overflood your deck with multiple copies, he may be the move because he's just there. Or maybe he won't be. Point being, I don't really think this is the spiciest card they could have come up with. The next card I wanted to go over was Shenron, Wishing Anew. Black card, permanent. This card can't attack. He has a 4 cost. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Then choose up to 1 desire card that has an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area and add it to your hand. Now, this is actually pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb stupid on the scale. I wish it ignored barrier, but maybe that would be too powerful. But the point is, this card over here will hit the board, smoke a target, and get back your child's wish. I mean, there probably are going to be some other cards that work well with it, but for some reason in my head, I just think Child's Wish is just the best low cost desire card. I mean, you could be running Call of Justice. I love Gohan, but even so, I have 4 foil Call of Justices. I mean, I'm not playing them, but you could be running your Call of Justices. You could be running your Ambitions in yellow, your Frieza's Call, or whatever. I said Frieza's Call when it's not Frieza's Call, or Advent of the Emperor, Returning, whatever it's called. But the point is, I think this is wonderful because he adds a top end to a low to the ground Child's Wish Shenron deck. You're at 4 or 5 energy, and this is normally where you need to close out the game, but you could bring out this guy and blow up something and then get a Child's Wish to your hand to then play it for free off of Shenron. So I really do think that this card will find its way into decks. It's got a lot of potential on it, and it only gets better depending on how we craft our desire cards. Now, the next one I'm actually finding to be probably the best one, only because, well, not best in general, because Shenron can be splashed into more decks, but this dude, Furgus the Sacrifice, is a 1-drop green card. Activate main once per turn, choose 1 green card from your battle area other than this card and place it into your drop area, draw 1 card. Okay, this is wonderful. He sets up the Broly deck. If you've seen the cards, I'm going to retouch on those soon because there are a lot more cards and I've been lazy and I haven't touched on them, but this guy sets up the Broly deck. He goes in and he just starts messing up stuff, starts sacrificing, and the best part about it is he sacrifices the cards like you want them to be sacrificed and draws you a card while doing so. So essentially all you need to know is if you've been paying attention to the game, if you've been paying attention to card value, this dude is a fledgling pan for the Broly archetype that's coming out for the Super Broly. And if you know how good fledgling pan is, it puts the cards in the graveyard you were already going to put in the graveyard, but it draws you another card. That's what this guy does, except he sacks the cards. Wonderful. This will need to be a 4 of. Now, mind you, everything that comes out of the Broly pack, the Volume 3, I believe, or Volume 2, no, everything that comes out of Volume 2 Broly, the Furgus I just talked about, the Shenron I just talked about, the Wiest I just talked about, There's a full power Broly that's going to be touched on later in this video, and the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. All those cards are the dash pack of set 6. They're going to come out when set 6 is released, and they're going to be the dash pack cards. So that's pretty cool. Now, going out of order, we're going to start talking about the Gogeta and the Broly lines now. And the end of their lines will come from the dash pack. So the blue and the full power will come from the dash pack, but the previous forms are going to come from the Broly Volume Pack 3, which are going to be from the Celebration events, if I'm not mistaken. So moving on, we're going to start with the Gogeta side. We've got Veku, the Defective Fighter. Union Fusion 3, Red, Sun Goku BR, Red Vegeta BR. Blocker, Barrier. When this card is KO'd, if your leader card is a blue Gogeta BR card, the leader that currently doesn't have much synergy with anything, choose up to 1 red Sun Goku BR and 1 red Vegeta BR from your drop area and add them to your hand. If you added 2 cards to your hand, add the 2 cards from the top of your deck to your energy. So all you need to do is block with this guy. If they swing on you, you just put him in the way. He's so small, even a leader could KO him. And you can take your 2 cards back from the grave and immediately add 2 cards up. Just add 2 cards into your energy, untapped, not in rest position. So you have them to defend. You could block with this guy, add 2 energy to your life, or to your board, and then you just proceed to have open energy for defense. It's a wonderful card. This deck is going to be fun. Moving from here, it does make sure that you don't use Overwhelm on the deck, because you have to have the Vegetas and Goku in there to bring back to proc this effect. Moving on to the next one, Gogeta the Comeback King, Union Fusion 7, Red Sun Goku BR and Red Vegeta BR. 7's a high cost, but this deck, you're already kind of seeing the theme. You just went from 3 to 5 if this was the turn you used it, and if you used it on a curve. So Blocker, Barrier, Auto. When you play this card with Union, add 3 cards from the top of your deck to your energy. So he's a blocker, he's a barrier, he's going to get in the way of things. He's fat, he's 25, which is pretty solid for a blocker card with barrier. But on top of that, you play this guy with 7 and you're automatically going up to 10. Done deal. Next, you have the very top of the chain, which is Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Frenzied Burst. EX Evolve 8 on a Gogeta BR with a cost of 6. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And you play this card on the top of the specified card. So this is the kind of different thing, okay? Because he only EX Evolves on a 6 cost, and you've seen some 6 costs. There's the blue, there's the special buy a box kind of promo that I believe is a 6 cost. I have to kind of confirm that. I don't want to steer you wrong, but I feel like that is the case. Give me 2 seconds to just look that real quick, because I don't want to look like a complete dummy. But the point is, he comes down on a 6 cost, but don't be discouraged because of that, because oh, I'm so sorry. I guess the SR is going to be a 6 cost, because the buy a box Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Fusion's Pinnacle is a 7 cost, and all things aside, he's EX evolvable for 8 energy over a 6 cost Gogeta. However, he is at 10 energy, and if you paid attention earlier, you get up to 10 energy just by Union Fusioning the Comeback King Gogeta. So Barrier, Auto, when the card evolves into this card, take the top 6 cards from your deck and add them to your energy. That's the kicker. That's why evolving him is so important. However, when a card evolves into this card, I almost read that over again. If you have 15 more energy, once per turn, you can take up to 4 of your opponent's life and place them at the bottom of their deck in any order. So when this guy drops, he is a monster. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He comes down, and he is just disgusting. So the main thing here is, though, unless this card is, and I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it 6 is wrong. We don't see any cards currently. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. We don't see any cards currently that can go into this card. As far as I've seen, we don't have any 6. The other one, I guess, is it may be. Let me check it real quick. But if I'm not mistaken, the other one is a 5. the red Gogeta that can't be destroyed by battle. I thought he was a 5, so I do want to check it real quick while I'm still on this video to make sure I'm not being stupid. So, oh no, he's 6. Okay, so he is 6, but you cannot play the 6-star or the 6 cost Gogeta Unparalleled Fusion Warrior from the red set. You can't play him with the blue leader because he is, not red. That card specifically says you can't play this card from any area unless your leader card is a sand card that is red and no other color. So that kind of hinders this. And it's kind of weird because Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta says he needs to evolve onto a Gogeta BR with a cost of 6. He only evolves off of that, but the card we can currently see that evolves him is only able to be played by a red leader. And then all the while, you look earlier in the chain and the Veku only works with a blue Gogeta BR leader. So I don't know what they're planning, but there are some cards that we haven't quite seen yet. The SR may be a 6 cost, and maybe it's not limited to the deck. So hey, we'll see. But this dude, when you have 15 or more energy, and if you play this guy, if you EX evolve him, or if you play the second one, the Comeback King, you're at 10. You play this dude, you evolve this guy, and he basically is able to put 6 more energy on, so you're probably at 16 at that point. So then you can have 15 energy and just dumpster half your opponent's energy or life into the bottom of the deck. So this guy's a finisher. Let's not kid about it. Let's not say it's anything other than what it could be. It's a finisher. We're going to move in. Sorry for that tangent. We're going to move over to the Broly cards. And so far we got Broly Paralyzing Presence. And there's a lot of text on these cards about, hey, permanent. If the total number of cards in rest mode between you and your opponent is 3 or more, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2. So it goes from a 4 to a 2-drop. And a 2-drop, 15k, that activate main once per turn. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and that card can be switched to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. Not too spectacular, but it's 2-drop for what it does. And I think that's pretty cool, especially with how fast this yellow Broly awakens and can tap down things. So that's pretty cool. Next, Broly Demonic Intimidation. EX Evolve, 2 yellow on a Broly BR with an energy cost of 4. So this guy comes off of the green cards and this yellow card, and that's kind of wonderful. Permanent, if your total number of cards in rest mode between you and your opponent is 6 or more, reduce the energy cost on this card in your hand by 3. So he becomes a 4-drop. And then his auto, when you play this card, you can only activate skills on cards that are green or yellow and no other color for the duration of the turn. So they don't want you splashing this in a red deck. They don't want you splashing it in a green or in a blue deck. They want this to be yellow or green, no ifs, ands, or buts. Activate main once per turn. Choose one card from your hand, put it into your drop area. Choose one of your opponent's cards in rest mode that can't be switched to active mode until the end of your opponent's turn. Same effect, copy pasta. It's just really cool card art. I'm sorry. Next, we hit the top of the chain. Broly Explosive Wrath. EX Evolve, 2 yellow on a Broly with an energy cost of 7. I believe we've seen one from the starter deck and the one that we were just on. Double Strike and permanent. If their total number of cards in rest mode between you and your opponent is 8 or more, reduce this card from a 9 cost to a 5 cost. So they kind of had that theme to have them come out a little earlier. Not sure if any of them are worth paying their hard costs for. The dropping it at 2 and then EX evolving for 2 each time is probably the best. But activate main once per turn. Choose one card from your hand and place in your drop area. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, choose up to one of your opponent's cards in rest mode and place it into its owner's drop area. Okay. Quick couple thoughts before I end this video. Gogeta is funky, and there are some cards we are missing. And while I'm talking about this, I'm just going to make sure I'm not being stupid. But there are some cards we're missing because it still looks like we need a 6-drop Gogeta BR that can be used with the blue leader to make sure that this ride chain goes up, that you can go into Veku, into Gogeta, into whatever the 6-drop is, and then the blue. So we're missing a card. But besides missing a card, that is crazy. Like, it's going to be crazy that we can get to a point, and thank God it doesn't have deflect, but it's going to be crazy to a point where we can, not like minus Achilles doesn't this, but we can just play that Gogeta blue and just take 5 or 4 cards out of your opponent's life and just throw them into the trash. That is ridiculous. However, for that being that strong on one side, does anybody else feel that Broly is lacking? He doesn't even ignore barrier. He just chooses a rest mode card and places it into the drop area. If it's got barrier, then this card might as well be a vanilla. And that kind of hurts. That feels underwhelming. Let me know if you think Broly is underwhelming compared to Gogeta in the comments. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching again. Past that, I'll see you guys next time you return to Universe X. Have a great night.